Listen, if you've been hoarding flashy survival gadgets because TikTok told you they'll save your life, you've been lied to. In a real collapse, most of that gear turns into dead weight, plastic confidence wrapped in marketing. What actually keeps you alive isn't the stuff influencers show off. It's the 10 unglamorous, brutally practical tools that rescue teams, special operations units, and people who've actually survived disasters swear by. And if you understand YT. So let's start with the first thing nobody wants to admit. When everything goes dark, grid failure. Panic in the streets calms down. The world stops caring about your EDC setup. It cares about whether you can manipulate the 3 laws of survival: control your environment, control your biology, and control your time. And these 10 tools do exactly that. 1. A fixed blade survival knife. Not some folding, tactical looking toy. A real slab of steel that turns your hand into a multi-purpose machine. You use it to carve shelter stakes, baton wood for fire, cut fabric for bandages, pry open containers, dig, defend yourself, and perform a dozen small tasks that buy you minutes, which eventually become survival. Physics is simple. Force plus leverage plus a rigid spine equals reliability. Every other multi-tool bends under stress. This one never does. A good knife is an extension of your will, and willpower is currency when the world goes silent. 2. A steel water bottle you can boil in. People love fancy filters, but they forget the real killer in disaster zones isn't dehydration, it's gastrointestinal collapse from dirty water. You can lose your mind long before you lose your life. A single untreated sip can ruin your balance, your electrolytes, your cognition. But boil water for 1 minute at sea level, 3 minutes at altitude, and your microbiology resets. Fire plus steel equals sterile. And the reason steel beats plastic? Plastic melts. Stainless survives. This tool protects the only system more important than your shelter, your gut. 3. A ferro rod and striker. Not a lighter. Lighters fail when they get wet, leak, or run out of fuel. A ferro rod works soaked, frozen, or abused. It spits sparks at 3.000 degrees Celsius because of a simple chemical truth. Ferrocium shaves off tiny, combustible particles that ignite from friction. Fire is warmth, water treatment, morale, and a psychological anchor. Humans evolved around fire because it gives our nervous system a stable point of reference in chaos. If you lose fire, you lose control. If you lose control, you lose the next 24 hours. 4. A headlamp with lithium batteries. Not a flashlight, not glow sticks, not night vision goggles. You bought because they looked cool. Darkness scrambles human biology. It collapses spatial reasoning, destroys your depth perception, and raises your cortisol until you can't think straight. Hands-free light turns panic back into problem solving. Lithium batteries matter because they don't leak, don't freeze, and output stable voltage in cold environments. Light isn't visibility, light is cognition. Without it, you'll walk yourself straight into the kind of mistake people don't get second chances from. 5. A compact trauma kit. Not a first aid kit stuffed with cartoon-level band-aids. A real trauma kit with a tourniquet, pressure bandage, gauze, and clotting agent. Because in a collapse, there is no ambulance on the way. Bleeding out takes 3 minutes. Losing consciousness takes 30 seconds. And blood follows physics. Pressure applied correctly buys time. Time buys survival. Most people fear violence, but the truth is more boring and more deadly. One stupid injury, one rusty nail, one slip on wet stairs can take you out faster than any looter. Knowing how to use a trauma kit is the difference between becoming a statistic or a story. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to hear. If the first 5 tools keep you alive in the initial chaos, the next 5 are what keep you alive in the long grind that follows, the slow, miserable stretch where most people give up, shut down, or make the one mistake that erases everything they did right. These aren't glamorous either. They're stubborn, reliable, almost boring, which is exactly why they work. 6. A real map and a simple compass. Not a GPS. Not a smartphone. Not a watch with a survival mode. When power disappears, satellites become decorations and towers become tombstones. Your sense of direction collapses long before your body does. A compass isn't magic, it's physics. Earth's magnetic field gives you a fixed reference point in a world that's suddenly spinning out of control. Pair it with a paper map and you unlock something most people have forgotten: intentional movement. People who wander die. People who navigate survive. It's that simple. 7. A sturdy tarp. Not a tent. A tent is comfort. A tarp is strategy. One sheet of reinforced fabric can become a roof, a ground barrier, a stretcher, a rain catch, a windbreak, a gear wrap, even a makeshift sled. The real magic of a tarp is modularity. It adapts faster than the weather can punish you. And in survival, adaptability beats equipment every time. You're not fighting nature, you're negotiating with it. A tarp gives you leverage in that negotiation. 8. A compact water filter. Yes, earlier I said boiling is king. That's still true. But the tool that keeps you moving, the one that prevents you from burning energy, fuel, or hours, is a lightweight mechanical filter. It's your shortcut. Biology is ruthless. A teaspoon of contaminated water can ruin your muscles, your cognition, and your judgment for 72 hours. And in a collapse, 72 hours is an eternity. A filter keeps you mobile. Mobility keeps you alive. If you ever need to cover long distances or escape a dangerous area, this becomes the difference between "I made it" and "they found me too late." 9. A multitool with pliers. People worship knives but ignore the one tool that actually interacts with the built environment. Pliers fix things. They remove nails, cut wire, repair gear, bend metal, tighten bolts, and let you manipulate objects you don't want your fingers anywhere near. In urban collapse especially, pliers are worth more than half the junk people carry. The world is held together by screws, wires, clamps, and metal fittings, and without pliers, you're reduced to ripping things apart like a caveman. Good luck with that when time is against you. 10. A thick notebook and a pen. This is the one tool people laugh at until they need it. Your brain is not built for crisis. Stress steals memory, fractures attention, and distorts time. The notebook becomes your external hard drive. You track routes, calories, injuries, weather patterns, tasks, mistakes, people you meet, supplies you need, warnings you spot, even your own mindset. When you're exhausted, scared, or operating on autopilot, written clarity keeps you from spiraling. Survival is psychology, not gear, and the person with the clearest mind outlives the one with the fanciest equipment every single time. So here's the truth you weren't supposed to hear. These 10 tools don't save you because they're special. They save you because they remove uncertainty. In collapse, uncertainty kills. But when you can cut, boil, navigate, repair, shelter, treat injuries, make fire, create light, and keep your mind steady, you stop being prey. You become someone with options. Someone who shapes their environment instead of being chewed up by it.